How you doing, guys?
Hi.
We can go out?
Yeah, sure. Just stand in front, please. It's all the rest.
We don't get run over.
Very busy line out there.
Yeah. Perfect.
Sorry?
Perfect.
Okay, yes. At the train. Well, look at the trolley. Stop, mother.
Stop on. Nanda, wait. Okay, now go. Go.
Video. Ika. Okay, yes. At the train. Well, look at the trolley.
So the reason we have this portion of the display, if you notice, as he turns the control here, the lights light in the building. One of the things that happened back when the trolley line set up along Connecticut Avenue is the people that lived there said, hey, can we buy some electricity from you? And they said, well, sure, we'll make some extra money selling electricity. And they did exactly that. And then Congress came along and said, you can't do that. You're either a trolley company or an electric company, and they made them split, and that was the beginning of PEPCO, Atomic Electric Power Company. So let's move into the next room.
So let's give somebody else a turn, buddy. Let's go find Freddie.
Oh. Let me try.
Control is over there.
Oh, there's another one.
What's another one? What plate? Come on.
Oh, something here you go. Right there.
One banana one.
Yeah. You do the other way. Yeah, like this. And you stand right here. You see it's moving.
Huh?
Yeah.
How can I move?
We'll start moving.
Are you all ready? Are you ready?
Because we don't have that. Yep.
So you take the shifter home with you? Or you take the shifter home with you?
We take it out of the control there. So
We don't all have our own shifter.
On the end of the, everybody's got their own shifter on the end of the day?
No.
I'm sorry. No, okay.
You excited? Here, sit with me. Sit with me.
Hello, welcome. Is it your first ride of the day? Oh, great. Head on over. Okay. Hi there.
Oh, here
Can I have your ticket suitcase?
child. Look out the window.
You make some friends today.
What's that?
You can make some friends today.
Yeah.
Watch your step as you get aboard. Okay, before we get going, just a few safety notes. As I already said, please keep your hands, arms, heads, everything inside the windows. Do not try to adjust the windows. Please stay seated whenever the car is in motion. At the halfway point, if you would like to switch and go to the green trolley behind us, we will give you a chance to do that. I'll give you a little spiel about the car we're riding in at the halfway point. Until then, enjoy the ride.
No smoking, eating, or drinking.
Yeah, no smoking, eating, or drinking.
I forgot my green stuff anyway.
Sit down. Assume the riding position. One of the Dosen said something that it's not a trolley unless there's an arm that powers it. Yeah, the streetcar is something different. Yeah. But oh really? I'm trying to remember. We rode streetcar from Vienna on Christmas. This is what's impressive about Vienna is this. It's like a mine. We saw deer. Oh really? Oh no. Oh no, Allie. Allie's not. We can stay the trains. seated. Stay seated. Yeah, you can sit on my lap. That's a little higher. Really good.
Excuse me, sir. You need to stay in your seat, please.
Yes, sir.
Still do that from Baltimore to Boston. But that's not Amtrak. Like right. Not an express line. Yeah, and I think you can do that. Like you can take the train from DC to Baltimore on the Maryland train, and then take the Maryland train to the end of the line, so north of Baltimore, and it ends in a place where you can get on New Jersey Transit, and take New Jersey Transit or SEPTA to Philly. I would that Philly didn't, you know what I mean? That like you have to take Metro North to I think I know you people who do not have children or girlfriends that drive right. Right, yeah. But I would do it, but I have a child and want to do it. Milo really wants to go to New York to see the Statue of Liberty. Really? You should take her.
We have stop signs just like ours do. So, oh, it's not on that pole. But yeah, we stop whenever we come to a switch where the track splits.
Those switches are working.
Yep. We just stop to make sure we can see that the points are in the right direction.
Is he steering at all?
No steering. The switches are all manual, so we have to get out and switch it.
It's a good look.
Yeah. So you see, there's a pole coming up that has a little stop sign on it. Yeah, so that's telling the car to stop before it keeps going. Yes.
Seems like there's a double rail on the curve section.
Yes, that's just to help
Just to keep the wheel
yeah.
going?
Yeah. I mean, it could take the turn without the wheel just for added security. Yeah.
Is that for just here, or was that operational, like in Toronto?
I think that's a common practice for operational systems.
I've seen those in my life.
Guardrail. Thank you.
tight turns or.
Sorry. Okay, well, this is the halfway point of our journey. This is called Fishhook Loop because it's at the end of the line. Just a little bit about the car we're riding. This is Toronto Transit Commission 4603. And if you took the tour earlier, you might have heard about PCC cars, this streamlined design. So this is a PCC car. It's a little newer than some of the other ones we have. It was built in 1951, and it served the city of Toronto until 95. In 95, Toronto decided to retire all the streetcars, PCC cars like this, except for two that they save for special occasions. But the seats you're sitting in are not original from 51. They're much newer than that. This whole car was refurbished in the 80s. So it's had a long service life, and it serves us very reliably here at the museum. It was actually purchased directly from Toronto by one of the members here at the museum and then donated to the museum. So again, we have this car. There's another Toronto car we have, 4602, which is its twin, and they run very well. We like having them here. The line we're riding on, this was never a line that was used for public transit service. This is a purpose-built line for the museum. If you've ever been here before, like over a decade ago or so, we used to be located, the building, down where the inter-county connector is now. So a lot of the line we've been riding on was original to the 60s, but in 2009, when the highway was being built, we had to move the museum to where it is now.
And how much does the streetcar go for?
How much does? Well, it depends on the condition. I don't know. Do you have any idea, Tony, about the?
I mean, for a restoration?
Yeah,
Or to buy one. Like, do you know how much? Oh, well, I mean, if it's in really bad condition, you might get something for free because someone just wants it off their property. But
A restored car like this would be somewhere around $500,000.
Okay, and then there's trans bringing it here.
yes.
On top of that.
Yeah. Just for an example, to move one of our trucks out for service, it costs $5,000 for us to do that. One direction.
Here comes another trolley.
Yeah. So you can see the car coming.
You're allowed to get up at this point.
Yeah, you can stand up and come look if you want.
I don't want to block.
And again, if you'd like to swap and ride that trolley back, you're welcome to do so.
How are you going to shoot the gauge?
Okay, we'll get. Do you want to switch to?
Yes. Yeah, let's try both.
Or is he going to?
Watch, fine. Watch. Here comes the other person.
Watch him turn.
Body parts in the.
It's changing. Thank you.
All right, folks, if any of you are interested in changing cars, now's your chance to do so.
Swap my own. Hey, Jendo, can you look?
See you guys. Thank you for the ride.
Over there. Hold on, folks, one moment.
We may get a few.
How many seats do we have? How much space?
6 seats.
We only have about 6 seats available.
We have room for 6 folks if they'd like to switch over to the other side.
You guys go ahead.
We don't.
No, you go ahead. You're trained.
You're a buff. Go for it.
He doesn't know. I'll let the kids go.
So it's a long way down on the last step, so just watch yourself there. And a long way up on the next step.
Watch this step.
Okay, now we've got 2 more seats. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if you 3 come, then we don't. Right. Then and after you couple, then we don't have any more room on the other line. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. We can see on this one. Anthony,
It's a little loud.
ask if we're going to have another run.
Oh, that car.
Somebody's neighbors, etc.
Oh, they got it.
For you.
For you. Anything else? I'm too low. So we're about.
Kellogg website.
We're about to get started again, so again, please remain seated, and I hope you've enjoyed the ride so far. And thank you to the two for joining us on as well.
One other thing, keep your eye out on our website because we have special events throughout the year. We have Hippity Hop coming up. We have events like PCC Day when we bring out our PCC cars, and DC Day we bring out all the cars that we own that ran in the District of Columbia. We have other special events, so keep an eye on the website for those. Okay, and with that, we'll get rolling again.
Basically a 7 6 or 7. Yeah, I think if he was like 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't know. Like before you got
Well,
That's where the trains sleep.
Here.
Trolleys. This is where the trolleys sleep.
Yeah.
Come on, Ben, stay used to it, buddy.
Building.
As we're coming around the curve here, you can see off to your right and a little bit ahead the rare Maryland radio tower redwood, the tallest tree in the eastern United States.
A big tree. It's that thing right here.
It's like, what? I was like, that's such a weird tree, and that's not a tree. As we're coming back into the station, please make sure you have all your belongings before you exit. Thank you so much for riding with us today. We are, of course, a nonprofit museum, so we depend on you coming out and buying tickets to ride with us to keep in operation. So thank you.
We have a piece of conduit here. So in the Washington, D.C. city limits, Congress had mandated that there will be no overhead power lines in the city. We want to keep the city looking beautiful, no poles, no power lines, all that sort of thing. So what they came up with, originally they had horses in the DC area, and then after horses, they went to a cable system like they have in San Francisco. And the cables ran up the middle of the street, and then the building burned down. That was the control point for the cable. And they went back to horses for a short period, and then they installed the conduit system. So there were a couple of bars that ran up the middle of the street here, and this thing called a plow was connected to the bottom of the trolley car. And that's where it got its power, was from these lines that were running up the street. When you got to the city limit, there was a guy in a manhole, and he would disconnect the plow from the trolley, and then the conductor would connect the overhead trolley pole to the line, and then they would continue from there on out through the city into places like Silver Spring or Rockville or Glen Echo or wherever. This system was used in New York City also because of the tall high-rises. They couldn't have wires, and a couple other places, but it wasn't a very good system because, as you can imagine, everything would fall down in here. Ice and snow, papers, anything, and it was constantly getting clogged. They were always having to send crews out. They would have a device like this so that they could clear debris out from the line, and it was not the best system. And if you look at that picture down in the corner where they're showing a view of installing it, it was very disruptive, and it was very expensive to install these in ground instead of just laying tracks on the top of the surface. We have a special guest with us today here. Bob is going to tell you about a trade show we have coming up. I'm going to turn it over to him for 1 minute.
The Trolley Museum and the train club I belong to are going to host a kids train show here on May the 11th. We invite you all to come back. We're going to have trains that are old, trains that are new, large and small, and a lot of activities for kids to do. And that rhymed, didn't you? There's some brochures from the end of this counter as you take your trip around.
Welcome back, everyone. Hope that was fun. We should do the same. They've already boarded here, so it's mix and match.
If you want to ride the car down there, you can walk down to that end.
So,
Otherwise, there's a little more room on here.
not well, just a little bit.
Why are people going down?
Is that? Where is it?
Oh, watch out, you can get it.
No, this is not a train.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard SDB 1069. It's a rarity that we take this car out, so get excited. It's a much different experience than the PCC if you've already ridden that today. Some basic safety rules. Some of the windows of this car do open. We ask you keep them closed. A lot of these windows were designed for things like safety standards for latches, so they are known on occasion to slam shut, and we prefer not to lose any fingers on this trip. Aside from that, no food, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping here on the car. And we also ask that while the car is in motion, you remain seated at all times. It can be a little bit of a bumpy ride. We don't want anybody getting thrown around. Aside from that, if you have any questions, just flag me down. I'll make my way over to you, and we can talk. And beyond that, enjoy your ride. Thank you very much for coming to the museum today.
What year is this car?
That's a good question. Let me double check my notes. I believe this car was built in the 19-teens. You know what year this car was built, Dennis?
I'm sorry?
You know what year this car was built?
1907.
1907, not even the 19-teens.
Are you ready? Hold on tight.
No.
It's also called a trolley.
Yeah, this is not. Oh, they tried.
Oh, here it goes. Oh my gosh, that was lovely. Oh, it's loud.
It does go on the first. It was not good. I would enjoy that one. The seats are better too.
The trees.
Yeah, we're still here. We didn't jump out yet.
Yeah, it's all just video. I'm shooting in The aperture. So I'll pick the aperture and it picks the speed for the
Right. Video, can you put it in automatic?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can. Yeah.
But everybody keeps scared me to death, and I'm like, never used it before.
Oh yeah, I mean, everything has like video now. Any sort of camera that you buy now that has like a video, usually like 4K video, so it's pretty good. So, yeah. Like I said, I use Sony stuff, so just go ahead and 78 now.
It's okay, we don't want to exclude you. We don't want to exclude you.
Oh, I think this man got off the tree.
And then it went ding ding.
Okay, we didn't get it. We just letting us know. We have to pick it up.
All the wheels are on.
Yeah.
Doesn't that imply either one?
Okay, well, this is the end of the line. As you may have noticed, we went through the curve. And Mike is doing a quick passenger count because we keep track of how many people we have. In the meantime, until the other car comes, which should be any moment now, we have to wait here. So I'll tell you a little bit about this streetcar. This was built in 1907 for Brussels, Belgium. So it's a Belgian car, made in Belgium. Ran there in Brussels till 1975, so it ran for almost 70 years. It went through a modernization in the 30s, so it looked a little different. But originally it had an operator stand here as well as on the other side, so it could go in both directions. And it was, there were hundreds of this type built. It was the common prototype in those days. And you get a feel for how comfortable it was in the streets of Brussels to drive in a streetcar like this. But in the US it was very similar. And what sets this car apart from the other one that is coming in a minute, this is what we call a single truck car. So it has one set of wheels. The other cars is double truck. They have two separate trucks And because of that, it's a lot smoother ride than this one. And you may have heard the squeaking and experienced the shaking. And that is because it doesn't take curves very well. On a straight section, it's very smooth, and you'll see that on the way up when we have a straight section, it's very quiet. But as soon as it encounters a curve, the wheels catch against the rail, and there's a lot of noise. And because the wheels are further apart, it's a single truck, it makes it worse in a car like this than in the car that is coming shortly. It's coming right now. As I said, this ran in Brussels. One interesting little information that in the old days, in the early 1900s, they had two classes of service, a first class and a second class. That's why that division is in the middle here. And so when the car was going like we're doing now, this section would be the first class. They would all have wooden benches, but the first class would have a cushion, nice red cushion. And so that was the only difference. You got there at the same time. But then when it reached the end of the line, it went the other direction. The conductor would take the cushions, put them in the other half, and then that was the first class section. Because the first class was always the front, second class was the back. So that was just a little information on that. So this car is the oldest one that we have running for our passengers. We don't run it very often, so it's a special occasion. I hope you're enjoying it. Now, anybody who has had enough, who is saying, I'd like to experience the other car, you're welcome here to switch cars. The other one will pull up over there, and it's an opportunity to switch if you would like to do that. The museum itself, we have 19 cars in our collection. 6 or 7 of them are operational, and so we try to run different ones. When the weather gets better in the summer, even better than today, we have a fully open car that we run. And so if you ever come back in the summer and it's a nice day, we'll probably be running that, and that's quite a nice experience as well. Also, just for your information, next weekend we have Hippity Hop Trolley with the bunny coming. So anybody interested in that, please make reservations for that next weekend. And then in May there is a special model train exhibit, and you may have seen our colleague standing there with that. And that might be, for those that like trains, might be a good thing to attend if you like. Anybody have any questions? So
are you from Brussels?
No, I'm from The Hague, from the Netherlands, but close. But this is one of my favorite cars.
You did not come with the car?
I did not come with the car. We have a car from The Hague as well, which is in the shop at the moment, and I didn't come with that car either. That's my other favorite car. Anybody wants to switch to the other car?
You want to switch and see the other car, right? Okay, so bye-bye to this car. That one has two. Bye-bye. That one has two sets of wheels, like a lot of your cars.
Pleasure. So glad you could visit.
Thank you.
Nobody's volunteering from that car to come here.
Yeah, right? I know. Probably explain the double wheel system. They're like, we'll stay there.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you so much for visiting. Hope you enjoy that. Yes. And just mind you, if it's more smooth, it's nothing to do with the operator.
You got 2 transfers. Come on.
Welcome aboard. Welcome. This car was built in 1907. That one built in 1951. So it's about a 45-year difference between the cars, and you will experience something different in this car, I can guarantee you, from the other one. And that's mainly because this has one set of trucks that are, the wheels are further apart. That has 2 sets of trucks that are closer, and so it's a much smoother ride than this. So hold on, as soon as he moves out of the way, we will be on our way for our return trip. Okay, any questions, anyone else? No? All right, very good.
And as we get going again, just as a reminder for our safety rules, while the car is in motion, please remain seated. No drinking, no smoking, no vaping, nothing like that on the car. And while the windows on this car over in on the right side, and only some of these really, do open, we ask you keep them closed. They're big and wide like the Slam, just like the cars of the VCC. Aside Matt, welcome aboard.
Hang on.
Against boundary. That's the best thing to do anyway.
get it.
One thing that I forgot to mention, and that's part of the history of this car, that after it was taken out of service in Brussels, it went to Florida. There was a Belgian manager of a resort in Florida, in Orlando, that wanted to use streetcars to ferry golfers from the resort to the golf course. And so 3 of these cars went to Florida and a trailer, and we were happy that we could, after they ran there for about a decade, it was deemed to be too expensive to maintain, and so they were made available to us and to a museum on the West Coast. So we are happy to have this. It's a nice example of streetcar traffic in the early 1900s. So just wanted, if you wonder why on the outside it says Grand Cypress, it's because it spent about 10 years down there. And eventually it would be nice to bring it back into its Brussels appearance, but that's not happening anytime soon. So just wanted to explain that.
Sings us on home. We'd like to ask you right now to check, make sure you have all your belongings and loved ones. Thank you very much. Exit will be here at the front.
Thank you.
Very good. Hope you enjoyed it.
Watch your step.
Welcome back. Thanks for